Today we're taking a look at the Atlanta Hawks vs New York Knicks match, which is happening on Friday, May 28, 2021, and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. James Harden sat in front of a microphone earlier in the season and said scary hours were in store for the rest of the league once the big three were on the court together. Fast forward to the first round of the playoffs, and that statement is already beginning to come to fruition. It's clear the Nets haven't had a lot of time together on the floor, but they are quickly building that chemistry on the fly at the expense of the Celtics. They shot 52.3% from the floor and knocked down 17 three-pointers at a 44.7% clip in Game 2. How do you stop that kind of firepower? This is not surprising considering the Nets' starting lineup: James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant and Blake Griffin is plus 44 while scoring 140.4 points per 100 possessions in the 2 victories. There's not enough regular season data to be reliable for that lineup, but with the first 4 excluding Griffin, the Nets had a plus 22.4 point differential. Even when the Celtics built up a bit of a lead in Game 1, there was never a doubt that the Nets would be able to pull away thanks to their superior talent. This team's offense is incredible, but their defense and ability to switch has also proved problematic for this smaller Celtics team. Brooklyn has held Boston to just 106.5 points per 100, a mark that would have been bottom 4 in the league during the regular season. The Celtics are clearly struggling in this series, but they aren't a bad defensive team, either. They are ranked 12th in the league in defensive efficiency in a year where they've held opponents to an average 46.4% shooting. Brooklyn's job at this point is to keep their foot on the gas. When Joe Harris gets going like he did on Tuesday, there's no stopping the Nets. The Celtics were already playing without Jaylen Brown, and now star guard Kemba Walker has popped up on the injury report as questionable for Game 3 due to a bone bruise on his left knee. When it rains, it pours for Boston. And I'm not talking about the 17 made three-pointers the Nets poured on them in the 130-108 drubbing they took in Game 2. Celtics coach Brad Stevens is probably twisting his brain into pretzels trying to find a respectable way out of this hole. But the Celtics are clearly outmatched and outgunned by a Nets team that has come roaring to life. Jason Tatum is a special player, but he's also on an island with Jaylen Brown out of the lineup. Now, he'll have to worry about Kemba Walker possibly being out as well. It's just too much to overcome against such a talented Nets team. It's going to take some serious heart for the Celtics to get off the ground after taking that right hook from what could be the NBA's version of Thanos. The only difference is Jason Tatum might be the only real Avenger left on the floor. Boston clearly can't stop the Nets' offense. Can anyone at this point? The team is starting to look as impossibly great as they do on paper. Perhaps the only true hope of knocking them off is a stellar offensive effort. Defense has been the only weakness for the Nets this season, although they really do look like they're getting better. When Walker has missed time, along with Jaylen Brown, the Celtics have leaned on rookie Peyton Pritchard, who averages 13.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, 3.0 assists, and 3.8 threes in 24.6 minutes. Depending on the lines, I may target a Pritchard prop. Fortunately for Boston backers and people that enjoy watching somewhat competitive basketball, Jason Tatum will play after being poked in the eye by Kevin Durant on Tuesday. The Nets looked like the Big Four on Tuesday night with Joe Harris stepping up for 25 points. His ability to knock down shots beyond the arc is a real problem teams have to take into account, along with slowing down the likes of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. The Celtics have struggled after a surprising start to Game 1, when they took a lead into halftime. The problem is Boston can't get its shots to fall, and it's not taking nearly enough three-point shots to help keep up with Brooklyn. The Celtics' FG% over the prior two games is just 47.4%, a sharp downturn from their season-long mark of 54.5% per cleaning the glass. They've only taken 32.5% of their shots from three-point range, and although they've made 40% of those, that's not a winning strategy against the Nets' offensive machine. Tatum has to be lights out as a scorer in this game, and Evan Fournier needs to be Jaylen Brown for a night. It's a lot to ask from players on a team that clearly has their back on the ropes, but it's the only way to potentially save the series. I'm expecting the Celtics to come out with some pride early. My betting advice for that game is to pick Brooklyn Nets -7.5. Brooklyn dealt with some injury issues in the regular season, but it is healthy at the most important time of the season. The Nets are the favorites to win not only the Eastern Conference, but the NBA Finals as well. They have picked up a pair of comfortable wins to open this series and can essentially put the Celtics away with a win on Friday. Shooting guard Joe Harris is not one of the big three, but he hit some big threes on Tuesday. Harris tied a franchise playoff record with 7 three-pointers in the Game 2 win. The Brooklyn Nets will be looking to take a commanding 3-0 series lead after making light work of the Celtics in a 130-108 home win in Game 2 on Tuesday night. Kevin Durant led the team in scoring with 26 points, 8 rebounds and 5 assists on 8 of 12 shooting, while James Harden added 20 points with 7 assists. But the real spark plug for the Nets was actually Joe Harris, who drained 7 three-pointers on his way to 25 points. As a team, the Nets shot 52% from the field and 17 of 38 from the three-point line as they set the tone with 40 points in the first quarter thanks largely to Harris, before pouring in another 38 points in the third quarter to lead by as many as 33 points. Harris stretches the court and provides a tough cover when Boston is already having to deal with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. He hit 4 three-pointers in the first quarter and the Nets opened up a big lead. Harris led the NBA in three-point percentage at 47.5%. Durant has led the team in scoring in both games, pouring in 26 on Tuesday. Harden added 20 points and the Nets scored 130 as a team. Brooklyn ranked second in the NBA in scoring during the regular season, averaging 118.6 points. It is facing a Boston defense that finished number 11, giving up 111.2 per game. Boston has seen different levels of disappointment throughout the season. First, the Celtics were not playing up to expectations during the regular season, but there was still the hope that they could get things going in the playoffs. Then Jaylen Brown went down with a season-ending injury and that hope went up in flames. Boston has not been able to compete with Brooklyn without Brown on the court. The Celtics were not able to get the offense going in Game 1 and then they couldn't slow down the Brooklyn offense on Tuesday. Marcus Smart scored a team-high 19 points in the loss. The Boston Celtics will be hoping that their home building can help them find their footing in this series as they've been blown out twice by the Nets already. Marcus Smart led the team in scoring with 19 points and 6 assists. Kemba Walker added 17 points with 7 assists. Evan Fournier scored 16 points while Tristan Thompson chipped in with 155 points. But no other player finished in double figures. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.